John A. Barato Center has hosted plenty of big games, but only one state champion. Hometown Cardinals got over the hump back in 2007, but have only won a sectional title 3 times since then, and not since 2017. Mike Hackett and Munster have made winning the sectional almost as equal of a chance as not. They've won 7 of the last 15, but their most recent just a couple of years ago in 2022. The high-flying Cardinals, they like to run, while the Stangs prefer a more methodical approach. A 24-year veteran coach against a coach in his first full season. These Cardinals are ready to change things back to the old ways, but the old ways are just fine with Munster. It's the Mustangs and the Cardinals. It's the 4A sectional title, and it's coming up next.
You need immediate care, trust Community Health Care System. With locations across Northwest Indiana, the immediate care centers of Community Health Care System are ready to serve you. From sore throats and runny noses to cuts, sprains, and more, our team of skilled healthcare professionals will treat you and your loved ones and get you back on the road to good health. For more information, visit comhs.org/immediate-care.
Tech Credit Union is offering special loan rates on 2018 to 2024 cars, trucks, and Harley-Davidson motorcycles. It's a great time to buy new, used, or refinance at a higher rate loan from another lender. Enjoy a budget-friendly monthly payment with 90 days until your first one is due. Tech Credit Union is the better option for a vehicle loan. For details, visit techcu.org or call 800-276-TECH. Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender and federally insured by the NCUA.
This is your Medical Minute, brought to you by Community Healthcare System.
Obesity is a common, serious, and costly chronic disease affecting adults and children. 1 in 5 children and more than 1 in 3 adults struggle with obesity. Adults with obesity have a higher chance of developing diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and some types of cancer. A healthy diet and regular exercise are important in decreasing obesity. Some people are eligible for bariatric surgery, also known as weight loss surgery. Bariatric surgery involves making changes to your digestive system to help you lose weight. If bariatric surgery is not the right option for you, Community Healthcare System also offers a non-surgical approach to long-term weight loss. For more information or to sign up for a virtual seminar, visit comhs.org/bariatrics23.
We welcome you back to the historic John A. Barato Center. It's been the site all week for this sectional 4A number 1 here in Northwest Indiana, and a ton of history in this building, as we alluded to in the open, and we've talked about it all week. And there is a lot on the line, obviously, in this ballgame. It's been since 2017 since East Chicago won the sectional. It's been 17 years since that Etuan Moore team won the state tournament, and they're hoping to change a lot of recent history that has not been great for the Cardinals here tonight. With Tim Fedler, I'm Sam Michael. Tim, first, let's talk about the Mustangs. Tuesday, you think to yourself, man, we get an okay draw. Morton, not a great record, but as Coach Cundiff said to me, one of the assistants, that's got to be the best 7-win team in the state. But Morton really talented. They pushed Munster to the brink. They survived that in double overtime. They survived Lake Central yesterday. Now they're here.
Yeah, it's a very talented Morton team for having the record they had, and you know, that was a good test for what they're going to see today, because you alluded to it in the open. Munster and East Chicago couldn't be more polar opposites in terms of the style they want to play. You know, and Morton was able to push the tempo a little bit, throw a lot of pressure defense at Munster, force some turnovers, and kind of take the Mustangs out of their comfort zone, which is exactly what East Chicago is going to try to do. So it's going to really come down to Coach Hackett and his disciplined half-court style offense. They run the chin series, Princeton style. They're going to spread you out. They're going to look for back cuts. They're going to try to wear you down, find mistakes in the defense, and then eventually that's going to open up shots on the perimeter. If they can prevent from turning the ball over and make East Chicago play defense for a long period of time, advantage Munster.
You see some of the things that they were able to do yesterday on the offensive glass, and not a team that's known for it. They don't have a ton of heights. In fact, their tallest rostered player is 6'4", and that will be tough to guard the likes of Dominique Murphy and Yamari Wallace. But they were really impressive yesterday against LC, getting rebounds on second chance opportunities.
Yeah, and that's just out hustling the opponent typically. You know, you look at the height and you think rebounding is all going to be the tallest player. But it's intelligence. It's knowing where the ball is going to come off the rim, and it's just outworking your opponent to get to the ball. And that's what Munster was able to do yesterday, to get second, third chances. But Sam, that's something that's going to be much more challenging today against a much taller, much more athletic East Chicago team.
When it comes down to the Cardinals, as you said, they're much more talented, they're a much better ball club, but the biggest thing to keep in mind for them is their starting point guard. Jameel Rich did not play yesterday. He has an ankle issue that he will look to play through today. I'm kind of watching him in warm-ups right now, and he's got the look of a guy who's going to be back in the starting lineup. They were able to beat Westside, a team they only beat by 4 in the regular season, by a much larger margin yesterday. Really, score not even quite as close. That game wasn't even as close as the score, I should say. So Jameel Rich, though, is a key today, because in a tight game against a Mike Hackett coach team, they won't pressure you a ton, but there will be the well-timed plays and the key possessions. If you're going to win this game against the Mustangs, you have to win it. You can't expect them to make mistakes.
Well, and you got the exceptional point guard on Munster, the 4-year varsity player in David Cundiff, so you want to have your point guard if you're East Chicago, and East Chicago's going to want to push the tempo. They're going to create turnovers, score in transitions. Obviously, that starts with your point guard. And then they're going to just need to be going against Cundiff. They're going to want to try to force turnovers to take Munster out of their comfort zone. And again, you're going to want to be able to pressure him as well. So having a healthy Rich Jr. out there is going to be a big key.
It's really important. You just touched on one guy real quick before we step aside for the anthem. David Cundiff, he hasn't scored a lot. We've seen Kinsella and others doing a ton of the scoring. Coney's been great, even some points from Blake Trilly. And we've seen Malloy hit the three at important times. But Cundiff, he's the key, and if he doesn't score today, East Chicago is going to pressure. We know that.
Well, Cundiff is going to get everyone else involved. And there was a game 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, where Cundiff didn't score or had very few points. I don't remember the exact box score, and Malloy went off. So it's about just getting everyone else involved, and that's what Cundiff does. He's not going to worry about himself out there. He's not going to force the issue early. He's going to get Malloy involved. He's going to get Trilly involved. Of course, Jermaine Coney. And then when Cundiff needs to take over, you know, he'll go to work. But he's going to let the game come to him.
Got a good one brewing here at the Verano Center. It's been outstanding all week, and we expect nothing less. East Chicago, Munster, coming up on the other side.
Looking for a career with stability, high wages, a pension, and the best benefits in the industry? Look no further than the Carpenters Union Local 599. We've been building our careers and communities for over 124 years. We believe in training, professionalism, and partnership. Better training, better pay, better benefits. We are the Carpenters Union. Call us at 219-942-0518 or visit ikorcc.com. Start building your future.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
Griffith Industrial offers a wide range of high-quality equipment and parts. We source the industry's top products at competitive prices so you can get what you need when you need it and get the job done right. Griffith Industrial offers round-the-clock availability, quality products, consistent and reliable customer service. Premier piping distributor serving Indiana and Chicago Metro, locally owned and operated since 1996. Call us 219-924-8177. Griffith Industrial. Pipe promise, pipe delivered.
The Bullpen Luxury Bar and Grill in Cherryville, where you can relax and have a good time. Enjoy our weekly specials. Wednesday, get a large 2-topping pizza, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery for $18.99. Thursday, $8 small 1-topping pizza. Sunday, $3 off any appetizer. Monday through Friday, $7.99 daily lunch specials, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Music bingo Thursdays at 8:30. DJ every Friday and Saturday night starting at 10 p.m. The Bullpen, 1013 West U.S. Highway 30, 219-322-7788, or hit the website at gotobullpen.com.
We welcome you back. Tim Fedlers and Michael. The John A. Barato Center is the site. East Chicago and Munster, the opponents. And it's been great to be here all week and work with a bunch of different guys. But good to have you back, partner. And excited for a good ball game here today. And it kind of just felt like, I said it yesterday, but there was other ways this could have played out. There was other paths to a sectional championship. You could have seen a Lake Central get here easily. They had the bye. Had beat Munster earlier this year. You could have seen a West Side even. You never know. They're a young, talented team. Hammond Central, they're the defending sectional champs, so why not them? But there's something about these two that it felt like this is where we'd be.
Well, I haven't been here all week, but I've been doing what hopefully a lot of people are doing right now, sitting on my couch, watching the games on Jet TV. So hopefully there's a lot of people out there doing that right now. It's a great way to watch the game, whether you're here live, soaking up the atmosphere, or sitting on your couch with your feet up, enjoying it on your big screen. You know, it's great that we can bring this to you, but you never know what's going to happen in the sectional. Regular season matchups often don't go the same way the second time around. Lake Central, of course, went through some adversity this year, so they lost some pieces going to that game last night, and then Coach Hackett in the sectional is just tough to beat. He's the most tenured head coach, I believe, in the area, give or take a year with Coach Swan. So when you get to this time of the year, it's really all about coaching, and that's where you want to give Hackett an advantage. But East Chicago may have a young coach, but what I have seen of him, he is doing a tremendous job with this East Chicago Central team.
I saw the Munster starters on your screen. No changes there. Cundiff, Coney, Kinsella, Trilly, Malloy, the sophomore, who has made some big shots, but has overall kind of struggled with his three-point shooting and also his free throw stroke as well. Slight change to the lineup you see on your screen. No Jameel Rich Jr. We thought he might go today, but again, it's Greg Williams, joined by the rest of the guys you see. Marquise Winters, Dominique Murphy, Yamari Wallace. And then the most important guy is Murphy usually, but to me, it's Keontae Bell without his running mate, Jameel Rich Jr. Can they take care of the ball? It was an issue down the stretch against Westside, but the lead was too substantial. It didn't matter much. But today, every possession is going to be magnified because Munster, barring something unforeseen, they will take care of the ball.
Well, and with Munster, you're not going to get that pressure in your face defense. Now, they will pressure the ball, but the other four guys are going to be gap control, lane control, keeping you away from the rim, preventing you from getting into the paint, and who's ever guarding the ball will pressure, but you're going to have an easier time making passes around the perimeter. What becomes difficult against Munster is getting the ball inside, getting it to the basket.
Outstanding rendition of our national anthem by Jimmy Arnett. He's ready to toss it. Mike Winter, Ryan Labus join him for a sectional championship and Munster starts with the basketball.
And we'll see, they're going to get right into it. East Chicago's going to come out in man-to-man defense, and Munster's going to spread you out, be very patient.
Kinsella, how about this? A wedgie to start the game, and to the jump ball to East Chicago.
I don't know if I've ever seen one of those on the first possession of the game. Kinsella, that's the guy you want the ball in his hands going to the basket. He just didn't have a good angle. He tried to finger roll that one in, and obviously it got wedged.
I don't think I have either. That was almost a walk. Murphy, he loves the fade away from the baseline. Greg Williams in there and the roll.
And that's going to be the struggle for Munster, is keeping East Chicago off the glass. Shrilly had inside position, but didn't get a push to get that rebound.
Big Greg Williams at 6'7", Wallace 6'6", Murphy 6'5". That front line for EC presents a challenge that Lake Central and Morton have not necessarily. Extra pass. Kinsella and Malloy. Corner pocket.
Munster's going to need to hit some of those today. They're going to need to stretch this defense, but that length of East Chicago allows them to close out that much quicker. Offensive foul drawn there by Kinsella. He was maybe backpedaling when you got the lower of the shoulder. Was that Williams on the drive?
It was Wallace.
Wallace, excuse me.
I think he got there. I think that's a good call.
He did both. He got there, he did get set, and a little lower the shoulder from Yamari Wallace.
Wallace is one of the key guys on this team. Coney attacks Marshall, and he'll go to the line for two.
Coney got to step to the basket. He got inside position working against Williams. Williams needs to get a little quicker there to cut him off. Defensively, you want to force the offensive player with the ball to turn as many times as possible. Coney was able to get to the rim.
Greg Williams first. So the two big guys, Wallace and Williams, both have one already.
One area where Munster's really struggled this year compared to previous Coach Hackett teams is at the free throw line, only shooting 65.9% on the season. They need to take advantage of every opportunity tonight.
1 of 2 that time. And we'll keep an eye on Keontae Bell as he runs this offense. And a shaky first possession. He might have got away with the travel, as we mentioned, and an offensive foul off the ball. And this is key because it was probably one of those two guys who already have one setting that screen.
Might be Murphy was in the neighborhood.
They got Williams.
They got Williams, indeed. And
he's right out of the game.
3 quick fouls here, 6:37 left in the first quarter. Key for Munster now. Can they draw 2 more fouls against this East Chicago team relatively quick and then get to the free throw line the rest of the quarter?
Deontay Timms is into the ball game, I'm sure, much earlier than he or Coach Alam Rue would have anticipated. Coney had the lane for a second, but it closed. Murphy, that's a block on Kinsella. And he got hit in the face.
Yeah, Kinsella caught an elbow to the nose on that one. It looks like he had decent position. You'll take a look at the replay here. His feet may have been set. I think that's a missed call. His feet were set, and he caught an elbow right there in the nose. So that looks like a break for East Chicago Central there in transition. And then the key here for Munster, can Kinsella shake that one off, and I think he's going to be fine.
I'll tell you, the officials really don't pay attention a lot to the foul count. But if the first 4 whistles would have gone against East Chicago in the sectional championship, that might have been tough. Even if they were all correct.
I'd rather you get them correct. You know, you hear a lot of coaches or even parents will complain the fouls aren't even. Usually it's because one team is more aggressive than the other. It's not that the officials are favoring one team.
Kinsella gets a pretty good look.
How about that? His vision is just fine after taking one in the nose. He comes back with a nice answer. Quick shot for Munster, but you know, you're going to get a look like that. You got to go ahead and dial it up.
Kinsella's got a tough guard against Wallace. Timms got behind Trilly.
Yeah, Trilly needs to do a better job sliding back on the block, getting in that passing lane. Timms was able to get inside position and muscle him back. That's a very tough matchup for Trilly, something to keep an eye on.
Wallace almost had a steal.
Munster needs to make sure not to over-dribble on the perimeter. Just keep that ball moving, looking for their cutters.
Ton of traffic in the lane. Watch out here, Wallace. Lost it, out of bounds.
East Chicago has not really gotten out and run too much yet. Yeah, you had the charge off, the no charge call against Kinsella, against Murphy, and then you had an opportunity there, but keep an eye on the pace of this game. Obviously, a quicker pace will favor East Chicago.
Numbers, Malloy behind the pack. I think he might have traveled. No, a foul on the floor.
Yeah, they're going to call that foul coming up on Dominique Murphy. Nice pass there. Malloy comes to a stop, feeling Murphy behind him to let him run by. And unfortunately, Murphy makes contact before Malloy can go up and get that shot up at the rim.
Well, that's also a part of the rebounding and inside game. Murphy, Wallace, Williams already on the bench with 2. The first 2 guys have a foul each.
I'd like to see a nice long possession here by Munster. Really get into this Princeton style, their chin series. Looks like they're setting it up here, and they'll kind of go away from it, straight open post.
Cundiff has not been able to get to the rim with success this entire week. Overloading the right side. Wallace will pull the trigger. Great play by Keontae Bell.
Yeah, and we talk about rebounding and the size advantage that East Chicago has. That had nothing to do with size right there. That was Keontae Bell beating, I believe it was Malloy, to the spot and then making a great play, throwing it off his legs to maintain possession.
So we do see Jameel Rich. Murphy got hit by Coney.
And you're not seeing the double team coming at Murphy. They're really just letting them go one-on-one for now. Of course, Munster's very disciplined defensively in the gaps, in help, when you saw Cundiff closing out if Murphy would have continued that drive. But right now, they're basically playing him pretty much straight one-on-one.
Murphy's already made 2 of 2 at the stripe. Next level kind of guy. He's got the jump shot. He's got the height. He can take it to the rim. He can dunk it, step out and shoot it, and he's really good from here. And he is perfect so far. He's got half of the points just from the stripe alone.
And that allows East Chicago to get into the full court pressure to try to force the tempo here a little bit. And Munster just needs to be disciplined to back it out unless you have numbers.
Kinsella had one. Trilly's got a triple.
Munster's going to need to make a few of those in this game, but a higher scoring game will favor East Chicago. Right now, the pace is maybe slightly favoring East Chicago, but not by a dramatic margin.
Murphy quick on the trigger. Air ball on a 3. Munster can take the lead. Had Cundiff on the give and go. Kinsella lost his footing, and then he traveled. And I thought he might have lost the ball.
So much length on the perimeter, really causing Munster difficulty in their offense. You're going to take a look at the replay here, and that's going to be the Trilly shot.
Kinsella slashing to the rack.
Got right into the hip of Wallace. Great drive, get into the basket, got Wallace behind him. Easy right-hand layup.
2 star guards, Bell and Cundiff trading. Bell looking for another. Rich has an offensive rebound. Leaves it for Murphy. There's Wallace. He'll have 2.
Yeah, that's 2 in a row on Kinsella. On the initial one, he ran to the rim, forgot to check out, and then he got caught standing there with Wallace in the area instead of getting low and boxing his man out. And I have a feeling that's going to be Kinsella coming to the bench. Coach Hackett is going to tell him exactly what I just told you folks.
If there's a guy, if you're Munster, there's probably 3 of them, but Kinsella, the way he's played this week, might be at the top of the list right now. No, this is a team that doesn't have a lot of depth at point guard, but Kinsella has been outstanding all week. He's now to the bench with 2 personals.
Yeah, and that's the guy you need out there. Very smart player, great shooter, good ball handler. We'll be curious to see how long he stays out. As long as this game stays relatively competitive, Kinsella will remain on the bench, so probably sometime midway through the second quarter.
Mike Hackett doesn't play a ton of guys. He will go 7 or 8 deep. And today I'm sure even shorter, but Caden Atkins is one of the guys who will see a run normally. Not a ton of minutes, but he does play. Anticipating that was Wallace. Winters got bumped, and the finish.
Very difficult pass to make there from the top of the key. It was soft, trying to get the ball into the free throw line. East Chicago just too long and quick to make that soft of a pass from that distance. And then Winters gets out, finishes at the rim, and has an opportunity for the three-point play.
A rare mistake from the senior guard who's so steady. And Winters has three.
Absolutely cannot turn the ball over at the top of the key. That's how you start your fast breaks and get teams like East Chicago going in transition as they extend a little 1-2-2 half-court pressure.
Right in the grill of the sophomore Malloy.
Square up.
Trilly. Malloy has had one. He was open, missed it. Atkins in the middle. Trilly's made one, has two.
Great ball movement there. Great find by Atkins. I like having the smaller guy, the good passer, play that middle spot of that zone.
Atkins drawing the charge.
Atkins makes the great pass, comes back defensively, slides over. Yeah, takes the charge. That's one that in the college game, the restricted area, that's definitely not an offensive foul. He was way underneath the basket. Questionable call there.
That's two on Wallace. Remember that. So Kinsella in trouble on the visiting side, but both of the starting front court, Wallace and Williams, sitting there with two on their own.
East Chicago and Munster both got one of those charges. Now, they're even there where that one on Kinsella should have been a charge. That one probably shouldn't have been.
Cundiff looking for the lead. Hasn't been there all week for him.
Yeah, Cundiff's a guy they're going to have to get going today. They're going to need to find a lot of scoring in this one to keep up with this high-powered East Chicago team. But, you know, you look at it, East Chicago and Munster, there's only a 3-point advantage in points per game.
Ryan Giba, turnover. Giba's in there for the first time. Atkins off the bench making some plays. Malloy got set. And a rebound, a good one by Dominique Murphy. Looking to push the tempo. Works around the crowd. He loves the mid-range.
How about that ball handling? In pressure, he had about 2 or 3 hands near him, crossed it over, able to get to about the free throw line for a big bucket.
Kicked ball on the sideline.
Not much room there to make that pass to Trilly. Like to see Cundiff just reverse that to the other side. A lot of hands and obviously feet in that passing lane.
DeAndre Timms, we did not see him on Wednesday, but we did see him yesterday. He gets some minutes now, especially with the foul trouble that both teams are dealing with. You might see both coaches go a little bit more than they are comfortable with. Working the perimeter here against this Cardinal zone. They've been in it the last couple minutes.
Yeah, it looks like about an extended 3-2, 1-2-2, about the same thing, whatever you want to call it. That top guy comes out a little further. It looks like a 1-2-2. Got to get the ball to the middle.
Atkins, good job by him to come to the ball. And Timms was a step late. 2 shots coming for Caden Atkins. But the charity stripe has not been his friend this year.
And again, I like that. You put a good ball handler, you put a good passer in that center spot. You know, old convention will tell you want a big guy in there and he's your target, get the ball inside. But if you don't have that Jokic-type player, the 7-footer who could pass the ball, put your best passer there, let him find those small little gaps and run the offense from the free throw line.
For so many years, East Chicago has had problems from the charity stripe, and it's probably prevented some really talented teams from not going far. But this year, kind of reversing roles. Normally Munster does the little things. The Cardinals much better at the stripe, 71% against 66 for the Mustangs. Giba made this tough. Offensive board winners, and one.
Can't give him 2 shots, and you can't give him 3. And that's typically when fouls happen. It's on offensive rebounds. That's when the defense starts to get frustrated. They scramble, and that's typically when fouls will happen and you get to the free throw line. And Munster just got caught standing underneath the basket there twice. And now a big 3-point play opportunity for the Cardinals.
Foul is Cundiff's first. Winters has to be satisfied with the bucket and a 5-point lead.
See, Munster's probably going to hold for 1 shot here, but it's going to be very difficult against this pressure defense of East Chicago. Trying to get the ball inside once again to Atkins. Trying
to waste time here around the edge before that final look. Dangerous. As Malloy was able to go up high.
Square up, Atkins. He needs to square up when he catches the ball there. Go.
Could have got to the bucket. Cundiff, back cut, a beauty, well timed.
How about that cut by Cundiff?
And that, some momentum for the Mustangs. Great first quarter between these two. The Cardinals taking a 3-point lead into the break. Cundiff making it a bit closer.
Danny's East Grub and Pub is your #1 spot for fantastic food, great drinks, live music, and sports entertainment. Located on 45th Avenue in Munster, Indiana, Danny's East is bringing a new classy look to the sports bar scene. Serving lunch and dinner, Danny's East offers a wide variety of menu options such as appetizers, soups and salads, sandwiches, burgers, and much more. So whether you're looking for a family-friendly restaurant with excellent food or a cozy, comfy bar, ideal for a night out with friends, Danny's East Grub and Pub is the place for you.
Private luxury for a truly unique stay in Northwest Indiana. That's what Emerson House has to offer. From hosting a private event, a boutique wedding, or an overnight rental, Emerson House is one of those special opportunities to be lost in peaceful calm. The home, the hospitality, the nature, where luxury meets the serenity on 30 acres near Indiana Dunes National Park. See more of what we have to offer at experienceemerson.com.
Good tempo in this opening quarter between East Chicago and Munster. The Cardinals have to like the pace, but so far Munster keeping up with them. Big concern for Coach Mrue is the fouls. You've got Murphy with one, been able to play still, but the other guys, the big guys inside, Williams and Wallace both with 2 on the bench.
And for Munster, Kinsella still on the bench with 2 fouls, and he'll stay there as long as Munster's within a possession or 2 of this game. If East Chicago starts to pull away, you'll see Kinsella off that bench.
Atkins has done a nice job having to play for Kinsella, more of a distributor. Coney trying to use the shot fake to get to the rim. And he draws contact on the floor.
Not much there, just a little bump in, probably by both players. But Winters is going to pick up the foul, and I think more contact there was initiated by Coney myself. But Winters will be called for the foul.
Another guy with some height inside. If you're Munster, you'd like to see him go to the bench. Trilly's already made 2 threes. Coney couldn't handle the pass.
Now, Coney's eyes went to the rim before that ball was in his hands. He saw a lane to drive and get to the basket. Started to make that move before he had the ball. And that's what happens. Ball goes out of bounds to East Chicago.
DeAndre Timms to the bench. Wallace back in there. Keep an eye on 24 in white. Even on the offensive end, one of those fouls he picked up was an offensive foul, of course. Rich not running the point as much. Now a reach in. As the game is being officiated
very tightly. Yeah, yes. Very tightly there. Not a whole lot there either. But Coney just got a little too much. You know, there was contact, obviously. So they're going to go ahead and make that call. But, you know, and that's just the officials right now. Want to make sure they get control of the game. And we'll see if they make adjustments as this one goes on and loosens it up a bit.
Coney to the bench. He's got 2. Kinsella's already there. Cundiff with 1. The big 3 for Munster. The veteran guys. Those are all in foul trouble, similar to EC.
A lot of perimeter play here for East Chicago. Munster doing a great job, as always, keeping the ball out of the lane. Good job there by Trilly, fronting in the post.
You can tell Rich just doesn't have that explosion right now. Ankle injury will do that to you. Murphy loves that spin move. But he's off the mark.
Nice spin. I like to see Atkins a little higher on that once he comes out of that spin. But good job getting the rebound.
Cundiff got his own miss. Malloy trying for the tie.
Had a good look, maybe without any rebound. Just like to see them back that one out, run a little more clock. But it was a decent look as it was.
Giba was a step late. Winters the tough finish. Quick timeout taken by EC. They've got a 5-point lead.
care, trust Community Healthcare System. With locations across Northwest Indiana, the immediate care centers of Community Healthcare System are ready to serve you. From sore throats and runny noses to cuts, sprains, and more, our team of skilled healthcare professionals will treat you and your loved ones and get you back on the road to good health. For more information, visit comhs.org/immediate care.
5-point East Chicago lead, and after a bucket there, Coach Mruwe wanted a timeout, trying to get his defense organized. And usually a bucket at a timeout, if you're the one that scored, you're probably setting up a defensive set, and we see some pressure.
Yeah, you see that more and more where teams call a timeout after they score, after things are going well, as opposed to when the other team is on a run and you need a timeout to settle your team down. But it allows you to set up your press. You see this as a big possession, maybe an opportunity to really stretch this lead here. So he really wanted to take time to set up his pressure. Almost got a 10-second call there.
Kinsella's back in there. Mike Hackett normally by the book when it comes to 2 fouls in the first half, but being aggressive with Kinsella.
Yeah, it's because he sees the 5-point margin. He saw that big timeout. He didn't want this one to stretch any further.
Not close as Bell. Munster can run if they want. Really might have double dribbled.
Thought he did.
And Malloy got it blocked from behind on the tip back by Keontae Bell. Murphy off his own foot.
Yeah, and that's good swarm defense there by Munster, just making everything difficult. Murphy trying to dribble around a bunch of hands. Obviously, he's going to draw a lot of attention, and he was just very unfortunate to dribble that ball off his right toe.
Munster's been a little bit stagnant offensively. AC has slowly built this advantage.
Yeah, you see work in this zone, trying to slow Munster up a little bit. Try to take Munster really out of those back cuts that they get so effectively out of their half-court man offense.
How about the bounce Josh Malloy just got? That was a long-distance floater.
Yeah, Munster needs to get more going to the basket. You've seen a lot of perimeter play. Got to get them going to the basket now. See if they can draw some more fouls on East Chicago.
I've not seen Rich try to score much. Timms. Murphy tipped it, Winters. And Munster able to grab the second miss.
And good job there, just getting out with only one offensive rebound. You know you're going to give up some. Just got to limit the scores.
Tie game, Malloy from the corner.
Munster's going to need to make some big shots from the outside. They're going to need to make some threes to stretch this defense a little bit. And now you see Malloy, you see Trilly, you see Kinsella all step out and make some here tonight.
5-0 spurt by the Mustangs have tied the game. Murphy works Giba and a hand check.
That's one Giba will take. He's going to be a little aggressive out there working against Murphy as you need to be. Got to apply pressure. You got to really get in his face. Don't worry about him driving on you because Munster is so good at protecting the lane.
Tough. Almost took it. Murphy, that was a walk, but a big bucket inside.
Big score, big shot by Murphy. He got an extra step and a half or so. No call, he did what he had to do, made a huge shot.
Giba wide open. Malloy made one from the corner. Giba not close.
Munster's only down 2, obviously, but the pace of the game is favoring East Chicago. I'm not sure Hackett, obviously if that shot goes in, he takes it. I'm not sure he wants shots that early in possessions.
The bell traveled.
Yeah, picked up his dribble, and that passing lane closed on him initially. He wasn't able to get rid of the ball when he wanted, and that forced him to drag his back foot.
Good back and forth. Munster, the pace good, but the score probably right around where they'd like it. I think a game in the mid-40s, maybe around at 50, would bode well for him. Kinsella, look at that. So tough to stop at getting to the rim, changing angles.
And he gets all the way. He takes the extra dribble. He's able to glide through the air and get the defense on his back to prevent his shot from getting blocked.
Murphy, this is going to be on the floor.
It's got to be. Saw them having a brief conversation, but it will be on the floor. And that foul is going to go up against Giba, I believe. His second. Crowd's really filling in here, Sam. I'm just taking a look around for the first time in a while. Outstanding crowd here at East Chicago. Great to see this place filled up.
A lot of contact and attention to Murphy. He's so good at hanging in the air with the jumper.
And Giba had a hand in his face. Giba did everything right as Kinsella answers back quickly. Nice drive there by Kinsella. He's so good at getting to the basket, controlling his body, and getting the defense on his backside.
Lanky, he's got long arms, and he contorts himself in different ways. Williams, who just came back in, had to chase it down. And ECU probably fortunate to still have the ball.
Kinsella taps that one out of bounds. He'll be headed to IU next year to play soccer.
I haven't seen him play, but I hear he's very good at soccer.
If we're going to IU, I would assume so, yeah.
Considering they're, the Hoosiers men's basketball team, the only team I root for at that school, is unfortunately not any good.
The way things are going for them, I think Kinsella maybe could help that team out a bit.
Men's soccer, though, very good. Very often in the late stages of the tournament. I think they won a championship recently, so good to see him, though, still playing basketball, and now a hold as two guys were working on Williams. I think it's going to be Trilly. You can't have a third foul if you're Kinsella, and it is.
Too early in the game to get us talking about multi-sport athletes. Too good of a game.
100%.
So, we won't get on that rant, but great to see Kinsella, a Division I soccer player, also play basketball.
London Walker had been used often throughout the regular season, but this week in the sectional, he has not. Jameel Rich to the bench. And Mike Winter having a conversation with Greg Williams about something. I think he's a bit unhappy with the way he has been defended.
Coach Hackett having a conversation with the official as well at the same time.
Malloy, just the length of Wallace, snatched it.
Yeah, Malloy had a hand on it. Wallace's length and just strength to take that one away.
Cundiff quick with his hands. Now attacks the rim. He turned it over.
He's got to look at the rim, be a little more aggressive there.
Wallace is the defender, went to the floor. It was Kinsella.
Great job there by Wallace running the floor, getting to the rim. But Cundiff needs to be more aggressive. His eyes were never at the rim on that drive.
Could have shot it, did a number of things if he wanted. Nobody picked him up at the top of the key. Confusion on who's guarding David Cundiff. But he has really struggled with his shot.
30% three-point shooter. Yeah, he just looks a little off. Trilly trying to battle inside. What a job Trilly's doing going up against much bigger players this entire game.
Yeah, he's probably gone against his brother plenty, right? You would think?
Oh, I would think so, yeah. Some good battles in the driveway.
Giba's third, and that's got the Cardinals to the free throw line in the bonus.
Blake Trilly, 6'1". I believe his brother goes about, 6'5", 6'6", maybe?
I'd say 6'6".
He's 6'6",
yeah.
That would be Brandon Trilly.
Murphy had made his first three, but he's missed. He made his first four. He just missed his first attempt of the ball game from the strike.
Giba will head to the bench with 2 fouls. Don't want to risk him picking up. Excuse me, is that 3 fouls on Giba heading to the bench? See how patient Coach Hackett tries to be here at least on this with 1:13 to play. Does he try to hold for one? He's certainly as good as any when he wants to milk the clock and get one shot, but East Chicago will make that very difficult for you.
Josh Malloy off the bounce. Tough finish through contact.
Yeah, falling to the ground. Maybe he sold that a little bit against Murphy. Murphy appeared to be straight up. Maybe that was a good no call, but tough finish either way.
Jameel Rich for the first time today attacking. Coney had the checkouts. A good hustle by Malloy to save it, but only Cardinals there. Keontae Bell. Ooh, that's a charge on Atkins. 2 shots for Jameel Rich.
Take a look at the replay here. Atkins really working hard. I mean, he had his feet set.
Well, if there's a whistle, it can't be a block. That was side-to-side defense. He's in front of the dribbler. I would have maybe opted for a potential no call. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, no call would have been the only other option there. He did nothing to displace.
Yeah, I don't think the dribbler did a lot either. I think he was just. But when you're spinning like that, you kind of give up that right.
Yeah, usually coming out of the spin, right? It usually goes into a charge. I think no call would have been appropriate in that situation.
Well, missed them both. And Munster, if they can beat the pressure, would take the last shot potentially.
But they've been so smart just taking what the defense gives them. They haven't been passing up anything to try to milk the clock, to try to get the last shot.
Good hustle by Kinsella. Cundiff. Malloy is wide open. Trilly, the tip back just before half. Would not be denied in what the Mustangs did against LC just yesterday in the semifinal. A big play. Before halftime, they've got a 1-point lead to the break.
IBEW Local 697 and NECA are proud to now be powering Indiana Lake County. From the corporations along the lakefront to the homes across Lake County, Powering Indiana has been safely wiring the region for over 100 years. Powering Indiana Lake County is Northwest Indiana's source for trusted electrical professionals. Learn more at poweringindiana.org.
This is your Medical Minute, brought to you by Community Healthcare System.
Every year, more than 300,000 babies are admitted to neonatal intensive care units in the United States. The Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, or NICU, is a place where babies can get round-the-clock specialized medical care from a team of experts. Newborns admitted to the NICU may be preterm, have genetic conditions, or other complex medical diagnoses. Some NICU stays can last a few hours or days, while others may last weeks or months. No matter how long the stay, it can be a very difficult time for families. Community Healthcare Systems NICUs are committed to giving the tiniest patients and their families the most comprehensive, compassionate, and dedicated care.
The NICUs at Community Hospital and St. Mary Medical Center employ the skilled nurses, respiratory therapists, and board-certified neonatologists to tend to the most vulnerable patients 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
For more information about the NICUs and family birthing centers of Community Healthcare System, visit comhs.org/baby.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Jason Rakos in Maryville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
Doc's Smokehouse, located at 1420 Calumet Avenue in Dyer, is the place to go for the best Southern-style barbecue in Northwest Indiana. Choose from hickory smoked brisket, pork, ribs, sausage, turkey, chicken, and wings for your main plate. Or maybe pick a couple. Don't forget the sides: potato salad, Bacardi beans, collard greens, and mac and cheese to complement your meat choice. Visit docsbarbecue.net for more information on specials and restaurant hours.
It is a 1-point Mustang lead thanks to the tip back by Brandon Trilly at the break. Malloy did make 1 3 from that spot, from that corner, but otherwise unable to hit from downtown. Truly does have 2 of them. Kinsella made 1. Cardinals, as you said, it kind of feels like they should be up.
Right.
And if not just up, but leading by 7 or 8 points. Instead, they trail by 1. Maybe that's a good thing for the Cardinals. Maybe they feel like they're doing some stuff right, and some of these shots will start falling. But if you're Munster, you have to feel like you played a pretty good half of basketball and took it blow for blow. But what else can the Cardinals do if you're in that tough spot of feel like we should be up and you're not?
Yeah, when I say that it feels like East Chicago should be up in this ball game, it's the tempo, right? The tempo favors East Chicago. It's been up and down. Munster has taken quick shots early in possessions where usually they grind it out a lot more. And, East Chicago, you see a lot of full court pressure stuff. But what East Chicago, they're getting nothing out of their press. And it's very difficult to press a well-coached basketball team like Mike Hackett's team. They're extremely patient. They know that 10 count. That is drilled in them every day in practice. They are not going to rush. They are not going to make a mistake. And teams that pressure you like East Chicago, they're trying to make you nervous, take you out of your comfort zone, and force you to turn the ball over. And when you get, poor teams or teams that don't have strong senior leadership or strong ball handlers, yeah, they're going to panic and they're going to try to do something too soon against that press and turn it over. Coach Hackett teams aren't going to do that. So I would like to see, and against that zone as well for East Chicago, Munster is finding those gaps. They're getting the ball in the middle. Atkins doing a great job when he's in there running the point from the free throw line. They're able to knock down a few threes. I think East Chicago needs to come out man-to-man in the second half. Maybe a little token full-court man pressure, but really get after it, pressure the ball in that man-to-man defense, get in those passing lanes, and just try to force Munster, run some half-court offense. Yeah, you might get beat backdoor once in a while, but you got to come out. You got to try to pressure the ball a little more because Munster's handling that zone very well right now.
East Chicago, how can they make an adjustment offensively? Anything different they should be doing? Their guards don't seem super aggressive. They've really tried to get the ball inside of the bigs.
Yeah, and, obviously, Rich isn't out there playing much, and they're getting the ball to Murphy in different spots. He's starting the offense at the top of the key, although I would like to see him post up a little bit more. But I'd like to see a little bit more ball screen. Have Murphy come out, set more ball screens, pick and roll, pick and pop. Move him around. Maybe have Murphy bring the ball down the floor a little bit, run some isolation for him, try to isolate one side of the floor, overload the other, really try to force Munster to maybe get out of position. You're going to have to step out and make some threes because Munster is so good at getting to the basket. But really offensively, what East Chicago needs to do is create turnovers defensively and get more in transition. Typically, that's what I say. That's how you score against a very good zone. Munster's half-court man-to-man defense is almost like a packed-in 2-3 zone. You got to get turnovers and score in transition.
We'll see what kind of adjustments are made in the second half. Munster by 1, third quarter next.
You need immediate care. Trust Community Healthcare System. With locations across Northwest Indiana, the immediate care centers of Community Healthcare System are ready to serve you. From sore throats and runny noses to cuts, sprains, and more, our team of skilled healthcare professionals will treat you and your loved ones and get you back on the road to good health. For more information, visit comhs.org/immediate care.
Are you looking to downsize but you don't know where to go? Look no further than Brookstone Condominiums, a quiet, established community with walking areas, a pond, and a clubhouse with an exercise room. And now, in the brand new North Building, you can buy a large 2 or 3 bedroom condo with your own laundry room, private balcony, and indoor parking, starting at $239,000. Check us out at brookstonecondos.com.
This is your Medical Minute, brought to you by Community Healthcare System.
Obesity is a common, serious, and costly chronic disease affecting adults and children. 1 in 5 children and more than 1 in 3 adults struggle with obesity. Adults with obesity have a higher chance of developing diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and some types of cancer. A healthy diet and regular exercise are important in decreasing obesity. Some people are eligible for bariatric surgery, also known as weight loss surgery. Bariatric surgery involves making changes to your digestive system to help you lose weight. If bariatric surgery is not the right option for you, Community Healthcare System also offers a non-surgical approach to long-term weight loss. For more information or to sign up for a virtual seminar, visit comhs.org/bariatrics23.
Tech Credit Union is offering special loan rates on 2018 to 2024 cars, trucks, and Harley-Davidson motorcycles. It's a great time to buy new, used, or refinance at a higher rate loan from another lender. Enjoy a budget-friendly monthly payment with 90 days until your first one is due. Tech Credit Union is the better option for a vehicle loan. For details, visit techcu.org or call 800-276-TECH. Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender and federally insured by the NCUA.
Northwood Falls in St. John is a one-of-a-kind log cabin-themed saloon. From our fantastic menu filled with mouth-watering food and drinks to our fun-filled events and live bands, there's something for everyone at Northwood Falls. Enjoy beautiful views in our expansive outdoor dining area overlooking a tranquil pond and waterfall. Our goal is to make you feel at home with customer service that brings the magic of the outdoors to your dining experience. And remember, you can book an event right here for up to 50 people. For more info, find us on Facebook or online at northwoodfalls.com.
Ready to start the second half here from the John A. Barato Center. It is Cardinal basketball, and they will look to grab the lead right back. Blake Trilly giving Munster the lead just at the end of the second quarter. Dominique Murphy is the guy, and he's got the first bucket and the lead right back.
Kind of what we talked about at halftime, isolating him a bit on the right side, letting him go one-on-one, as Munster has not shown a double team yet outside of maybe when he gets close to the basket, and that's just their help side defense rotating over. They're really letting him go one-on-one. East Chicago staying in the zone here. It's a more of a 2-3 extended, looks like.
Cundiff trying to get off the schneid.
You see there, Munster sends 4 guys back, only Coney going at the rim. As I think we're trying to figure out what the whistle is. Are they saying it hit the cable? I guess it's moving a little bit. Usually when it hits the cable, you really see that thing rocking.
I didn't think it did, but officials called out of play. Murphy, the step back.
Well, that's the strategy here, these first 2 possessions for East Chicago. It's been get the ball to Murphy, and they have been isolating him, trying to get him going here early on.
David Cundiff having a tough game. Not good going offensively. He's got a couple of turnovers too.
Yeah, not always making the right decision either. You know, he's had some turnovers, trying to pass the ball out on times when I thought maybe he should have shot the ball, as Murphy will be called for the travel.
He's been the guy all 3 possessions.
We'll see if they can get anything out of this full court pressure. Little 1-2-1-1 action here. We're going to get an aggressive trap on Cundiff.
Malloy is wide open down here in front of us. And Kinsella will go to the line.
You know, I talked about it at halftime. Munster's a team that just does not panic out of this press. And you saw Cundiff was pinned deep in the corner. And that's typically a spot that you do not want to inbound the ball. Offensively, you do not want to be in that corner 84 feet away from the basket. But Cundiff knows the one key about being trapped. If I'm being trapped, somebody's open somewhere. There's 2 guys on me. One of my guys is floating around out there somewhere, and he just stays patient, finds the open man, and then they get a nice run out.
Kinsella's been one of the more reliable shooters at this track for a team that's not great. And we're tied at 29. This game had great pace in the first half. I think both teams trying to find that back here.
Yeah, it's been slow going here, and it's been all Murphy so far here in quarter number 3. And that was the key we talked about. You got to get Murphy established, get him going, get him the ball in different spots. It's been perimeter-based the first 3 possessions, and now they're posting him up inside where he's going to have a height advantage working against, I think, everybody on this Munster roster as he steps up and makes the first free throw. And that's why Giba's coming back into the ball game right now for Coach Hackett. That's the guy that Hackett has had matched up on Murphy through the majority of the first half. Even though he has 3 fouls, Hackett sees what's going on. They're really making an effort to get Murphy involved. He wants Giba back in there on him.
He's got 3 as well, all in the first half. Good job by Malloy to come back to the ball. He tries the spin move. Good defense by Greg Williams.
Malloy lost control of it as he came out of that spin.
Perfect pass. Winters blew the layup, but Bell didn't take it for granted.
No, there was 4 Mustangs standing around, and Bell sneaks right in there and grabs the ball.
Wallace blows by Malloy and lays it in.
That's a defensive breakdown for Munster you don't usually see. There was a huge gap there. No one stepped up and stopped the ball, and he was able to get it all the way to the basket uncontested.
Giba from the corner. Yes.
Big 3 there by Giba. I believe that's his second one on the ball game. As Munster with a big answer.
There's a 44% guy on the season. Makes a big one here, and this is not going to count.
I believe that's going to go against Malloy on the drive. Cundiff came over, closed off that gap. Let's see here on the replay. And we're going to get Malloy on the reach on the initial drive on Wallace. Good call.
Murphy posting up.
Working against Giba. Help coming from Cundiff.
Winters, the little hook shot.
Well, Murphy dragged himself out there into the short corner. Good job by Winters sneaking around.
You see him looking to get a turnover. Malloy got set in a hurry. His second 3 of the game.
That was the key coming into this one. Munster was going to have to make some big shots from deep, and they've really delivered. I think that's their 6th 3 on the ball game. They're not getting to the basket as much, which I'd like to see a little more of, but they're really shooting the ball well.
Trilly able to come on. I think Wallace was ready to pull the trigger. Now he works against Malloy. Murphy over Giba. That is not close. Murphy's been great today, but his 2 threes way off the mark.
32% three-point shooter. It was a nice closeout by Giba. He didn't go out too hard as to where Murphy could drive around him. He closed out hard, had both hands up, was able to challenge the shot. Well-executed closeout.
Kinsella, Trilly had 2 in the first half.
Kinsella thought about one himself. Instead, drove into the wing, drew the defense off Trilly, and Munster's been red hot from that corner, making that 3 in front of their student section.
Wallace got stripped.
Great hands by Malloy on that strip.
Cundiff is the trailer. Extra pass for Trilly. And he'll go to the line.
Great decision there by David Cundiff. He has struggled a bit in this ball game. Thought about the 3. Excellent pass in there to Trilly. Good job by Wallace recovering. Trilly was wide open. He just got a little too much with the body. And it's going to send Trilly to the free throw line, where he shoots 82% on the season. By far the best free throw shooter on this Mustang team.
A lot of his teammates struggle here, but as you just said, Trilly is great.
Keep an eye on the last 3:41 here in the third quarter. If Munster can get a 2-possession or so lead heading into the fourth, there's nobody better in the fourth quarter playing with the lead, able to spread you out than Coach Hackett. So we'll see if East Chicago can change things up here, win these last 3.5 minutes, and force Munster to be a little bit more aggressive early in the fourth quarter.
Murphy into a double team. Wild shot, and Malloy couldn't quite control the rebound.
Great help by Trilly rotating over to force the tough shot by Murphy. And Malloy, he was right there, and the ball just kind of got on him a little quicker than he thought. Wasn't able to corral it.
Cardinals playing from behind. Still a ton of time left. They converge on the EC star. His fader no good.
Again, Trilly coming over to help Giba. And then it was a contested shot. And that's all Munster can ask for.
Good hands by Wallace. Knocked it away from Kinsella. Great look. Beautiful Bell inside to Winters. And Coach Brewer wants timeout. A 2-point Munster lead in the third.
As a member of the Indiana Dental Society, Dr. Anthony D. Costanzo is your choice for all your dental work needs. Smiles by Dr. D, located at 1123 Joliet Street in Dyer, Indiana, offers everything from general dentistry to oral surgery. Contact Dr. D and the team today by going to smilesbydrd.com or call the office at 219-865-3303 for more information on how you can brighten your smile. The Cherville Lounge, located at 48 East Joliet Street in Cherville, Indiana, has been a staple in the downtown area for over 40 years. The lounge is a family-friendly casual dining experience, serving steaks, ribeyes, seafood, and a full menu of your everyday favorites with fresh soup served daily. Enjoy our old-school tavern with 7 flat screens, high-definition TV showing all the big games. Signature cocktails available with plenty of high-end bourbons to choose from. Come enjoy the ambience of a neighborhood feel. Call us for reservations at 219-322-5660.
3 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the third quarter. And a great look by Keontae Bell to Winters, and Chicago using that timeout to try to get themselves a little bit organized. All of a sudden, we were talking, it felt like EC should be up. Felt like maybe Munster should be up 5 or 6, but here they are. They're only up 2, and that's what you get when you get 2 really good basketball teams.
Yeah, when it feels like teams are making runs, the other team is able to respond, and it's never going to get more than 4 or 5 points, or hasn't gotten more than 4 or 5 points in this ball game. And EC called that timeout, sensing this was a big defensive possession. Kinsella maybe gets away with a walk and a nice curl through the lane, but a good finish.
They never even really had that until he gathered to lay it in. Keontae Bell, that's out of the reach of Winters.
And that's Trilly just working extremely hard. He's cutting Winters in half, which means you got a hand and foot in front, a hand and foot behind. Being a little aggressive there, the official letting him push off a little bit, and the pass goes out of bounds.
See the Cardinals back off. We saw how easily Munster handled that pressure, even though there were some dicey moments in the backcourt. Once they got the ball to the spot, it was a easy bucket.
4-point lead. Munster's going to spread things out as East Chicago goes man-to-man.
Giba trading places with Kinsella.
Just an open post, a lot of cutting there. Risky pass there. There was no passing lane. Good hands by Wallace.
Cundiff to the bucket.
Looks like he's going to get to the right. He's able to change direction, glide nicely with the left hand. Great third quarter here by the senior David Cundiff. Good hands by Trilly.
They lost it.
Trilly coming in from behind, tipping that one out. The late double team to tip that one away from Murphy. As you see it there on replay, he was reading that the entire time like a free safety, coming over, tipping that one out. Murphy never saw it.
And then his eyes, kind of like a quarterback, he was already looking downfield to throw the ball ahead, but he didn't have it. Bell on the cross. Cundiff able to stay in front. Giba on the wall up beautifully. Walker, he likes to shoot it. Good strong rebound by Giba.
East Chicago's almost running a zone offense there. You know, they got Murphy working the short corner against this packed-in man-to-man defense of the Mustangs. They got to get more movement.
Malloy will try this corner. It's been successful for the Mustangs, not this time.
Big rebound there by Winters. Skying to grab that one. You're right. That's been a hot spot right in front of their own student section.
And a hand check will go on Cundiff, who got his foot stepped on, and then because of that, he was falling and is called for a second foul.
And he's still hopping around out there, trying to shake out, looks like that left foot or ankle, which is bothering him slightly. But he seems to be walking on it okay now. Lob inside to Murphy.
Bell, fight for the ball, won by Trilling.
Great cut there by Bell. Murphy had a nice pass, he just couldn't finish.
Kinsella, he'll try.
Mustangs cooling off now a little bit from that corner. You know, I think Hackett's going to want a little more time coming off the clock, being a little more patient as he sees these threes start to rim out.
Really forced by Wallace there. And we'll see if Munster's patient or if they want to just get the best shot.
Up 6. I think if they can get one shot, they will, but you're going to be in a what you call a layup-only situation. You get a layup, you'll take it. If not, you want the last shot. That's not what they want.
Mike Hackett was trying to beg him to back the ball out, and a foul on Giba, his 4th.
Well, if you're listening, I said layup only, and you're saying, well, Tim, that was a layup. Well, that was, you want an uncontested layup, and that was a force there by Malloy. You want it to come naturally from a back cut, someone standing all alone, and Malloy tried to force that one in there, and you know, you said it. Hackett wanted him to spin and dribble that one back out, and now look at the swing, 4-point swing we can have on that missed layup if Murphy can knock down 2 free throws here.
It's a good call by Ryan Labus. Giba still sliding to his left, clearly on that replay. Murphy has been the focal point. I think if it wasn't said at halftime, I'm guessing it was, but if it wasn't, it's gone without saying in this second half that East Chicago needs to get the ball to 23.
Yeah, you've definitely seen that emphasis here in the third quarter. 28 seconds to play as he can't deliver on a second one. We'll see Munster, I'm sure, going to be real patient here, looking to attack at 7. East Chicago's back in that zone.
Ten seconds for Kinsella. Looks like it's going to be him with a ball screen. Tries a 3. Murphy, can he get a look? That's how we come to an end in quarter 3. Munster, 5-point lead. 1 quarter to determine a sectional champion.
Nobody wants to hire a lawyer, but when you need one, you want honesty, integrity, and lawyers that are available. Smith Sursick is a local, results-driven firm for all your legal needs. Comprehensive legal services, all close to home here in Northwest Indiana. Smith Sursick, finding fairness in unfair situations. Free initial consultation, give us a call at 219-933-7600. That's 219-933-7600 or online at smithsursick.com. Smith, SERSIC.com.
Bridges Scoreboard in Griffith will be celebrating St. Patrick's Day March 15th through 17th, serving our famous corned beef and cabbage dinner. On Saturday, March 16th, Bridges will have Pipes of Oric Bagpipers at 5:15 and again Sunday at 6 p.m. Call for reservations. Don't forget Monday Bingo 6 p.m., Tuesday Queen of Hearts 7 p.m., Wednesday Trivia 7 p.m. And don't forget our Lenten specials in all the March Madness games. All the actions at Bridges in Griffith. Call 219-924-2206 or online at bridgesscoreboard.com.
Grotto Center has seen its fair share of instant classics. We've had a couple of them this week. Munster survived one of them on Tuesday against the Morton Governors. Pretty good one yesterday against Lake Central. In Chicago, a little bit easier path. Their game against Maryville wasn't a cakewalk by any means, but they pulled away late and then pulled away big time in the third and fourth quarter against Westside yesterday. But still a ton of time, an eternity left.
You know, you wonder will that double overtime comeback, they're hurting Munster here. Will they get gassed a little bit more? But Coach Hackett's teams are very well conditioned. It shouldn't be a problem as we're going to get a travel called.
Mike Hackett's in disbelief. And he should be.
Wasn't a travel nor a foul. It was a nice spin move. Interesting call.
Especially interesting that 2 officials had a whistle on it. I wonder what Ryan Labus maybe would have had. Wallace has really been forcing here. Coney's done a great job. Malloy as well to stay in front.
East Chicago's got to show a little bit more patience. They're only down 5, 2 possessions. Wallace, as you said, has forced some tough shots with a lot of traffic, hands in his face.
And when you're trying to go through a body like that and not post up a guy, I mean, the size doesn't really matter. When you're trying to go shoulder to shoulder, chest to chest with the defender.
Munster, this is where they're so good. They're obviously not going to go, 4 corners or a complete spread layup only, but they're going to be very disciplined. They're going to move that ball around, and if the defense is going to allow them to run some clock, Coach Hackett certainly is going to do so.
Kinsella got caught in the double team, and Coney saved what looked like was going to be a sure turnover.
And keep in mind as well, Munster has 5 timeouts left. So if Hackett tries to spread things out a little bit, be patient, they start to get into a little bit of trouble, Hackett has the ammunition to call timeouts, reset things during the break, and get his team out reorganized if he needs to.
Kinsella slipped around Murphy.
Kinsella somehow got there right at the volleyball line, wide open, and then a nice hang in the air with the double clutch to get that one up and in and give Munster a huge 7-point lead.
Wallace, that is big time.
Big answer by a guy who has struggled and forced a few shots. The EC wanted a timeout there.
Coach Murray going all the way to the official. Was basically in the ear hole of Ryan Labus.
Well, that's been his MO. Big situations, calling timeouts to set up his defense. He wanted one again there.
This Cardinal crowd trying to make some noise. Can they get a stop? Kinsella, Winters, got a piece.
Little force there by Kinsella. Fortunate to get that one back. They just need to pull it out.
And a foul on the rebound.
Kinsella getting into the body of Murphy, who had position. Don't like the shot attempt, Sam. I like to see Malloy dribble that one out. But Munster, every time they got the ball in that corner here in the second half, they've let it fly.
This feels like a huge possession for EC. Can they continue the momentum? The crowd coming to life. If they score, the roof may be coming off. Murphy lost it. Here comes Kinsella. Winters is on his back.
That was Malloy getting into the gap as Munster always does defensively.
Wow, what a pass. Deontay Bell or Winters.
Kinsella fell asleep, lost his man. Outstanding pass. Is this where the coaching experience, the veteran, in his 24th year, Mike Hackett has the advantage in the fourth quarter down the stretch? His teams aren't going to panic. He's not going to panic. 5 minutes to play, 4-point lead, right where the Munster wants to be in the fourth quarter with the ball.
And the upstart Cardinals have the answer. Malloy, that's another really good look.
Scoring time. Not a 3 you need early on in the possession, but Malloy is staying aggressive.
Rich, who's this off of? Wants the ball.
That pass didn't look like it was deflected. Good call as Rich kind of threw that one out of bounds with his left hand. Munster did a good job there of closing up that baseline, using that baseline as the extra defender, forcing Rich to make a tough decision.
Mike Hackett still has not used a timeout in this game. Undiff works the baseline.
And that's going to be a huge advantage as he's going to use them as he needs if they get in tough situations down the stretch.
Threes were gold early for Munster.
I'm not sure why they keep taking them in this situation.
Just getting good. Deontay Bell, it's back to a one-possession game. Undiff. Coney.
Haven't called his name much. Coney gets in there with a huge offensive rebound. As Malloy, all of a sudden, has gone ice cold, as has the entire Mustang team from deep.
Haven't seen a ton from Rich.
Big rebound there for Munster. A lot of contact as Kinsella tried to dribble in traffic.
The tic-tac-toe passing East Chicago in transition.
Great ball movement there by East Chicago, making the extra pass. Murphy getting the ball right underneath the basket. And that's going to be the fourth foul on Kinsella. Coach Hackett going to talk this one over. 30-second timeout, Munster.
We're known as Levin Tire, but we're so much more than just a tire dealer. At Levin Tire and Service Center, we do oil changes, brakes, alignments, engine and electrical work, and much more. And of course, we're the best choice for tires, with a wide variety from the industry's most trusted manufacturers. Plus, you'll get customer service like a small business with pricing better than a national chain. Visit one of our 5 locations today. We're more than just tires. Levin Tire and Service Center, since 1918, earning your trust one day at a time.
Well, that picture says it all, doesn't it? This building coming alive. East Chicago can get within 1. Murphy to the line, down 2.
Just listen to the crowd here, sectional atmosphere. This is what it's all about, Indiana high school basketball, everyone on their feet. Munster looks like they're pulling away, but you knew this game was going to come down to the wire. And that's exactly how it's shaping up here. 3:33 to play.
Better fasten your seatbelt. Coney. Kinsella had it blocked.
Coney took off from the free throw line. He needed an extra dribble there, and he could have finger rolled that one in.
Cardinals looking for the lead. They go to the guy they've gone to all year. Inside to Rich, offensive foul.
We've seen East Chicago run that play a couple times. Murphy drags himself out there, looks like he's going to post, drags out to the short corner. Then they send in that curl cut from the opposite wing. Rich lowered his shoulder. Excellent call by the official.
He bounced it out of bounds.
Wow. That's not something you see very often. Typically, you don't see a bounce pass against the press in that situation either.
Cardinals still looking for the lead here. They have the ball out of bounds. It is Keontae Bell out of 3.
East Chicago in their first lead since the second quarter.
Bell only a 27% shooter on the season, his biggest by far of his Cardinal career. Munster haven't answered. Timeout, Mike Hackett.
Tech Credit Union is offering special loan rates on 2018 to 2024 cars, trucks, and Harley-Davidson motorcycles. It's a great time to buy new, used, or refinance at a higher rate loan from another lender. Enjoy a budget-friendly monthly payment with 90 days until your first one is due. Tech Credit Union is the better option for a vehicle loan. For details, visit techcu.org or call 800-276-TECH. Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender and federally insured by the NCUA. Our Bar and Grill in Highland, located at 9521 Indianapolis Boulevard, offers an incredible menu filled with items inspired from Eastern Europe, along with traditional appetizers, burgers, and sandwiches. Stop in for daily specials like Taco Tuesday, bingo, and trivia every Thursday, and live music every weekend. Our Bar and Grill is your spot for the big game, with 40 TVs for big events like March Madness. Don't forget to call now to reserve your table for St. Patrick's Day. Visit ourbarandgrill.com for more information.
Mike Hackett using a TO to set it up. They get a wide open three. Cundiff for the lead. Coney relentless on the window.
2 big offensive rebounds. You saw that last night late against Lake Central. You wonder, Munster going ice cold from 3. Is that going to be the story of the game? Or is Munster going to be able to overcome that and still walk out of here with a victory?
They'll try again. Not close. 2 minutes to play.
I've been saying it when they were up 5 or 6. I don't think they should have been shooting a 3, and I still don't down 2. They got to get something going to the basket.
Rich draws the foul, and this is on the floor, I think. We'll see what the officials say. Yes, out of bounds.
So Munster built up that nice lead and hung in this ball game because of the 3, but they've gone ice cold here in the fourth quarter. You know, at what point do you just put it away, get to the basket? They've got to be a little more aggressive, running some sets, getting into the lane. Be a timeout here, but a smart play by Trilly, and that's why Hackett doesn't call the timeout. You got intelligent players on the floor, and Blake Trilly making the right call, throwing the ball off the leg.
Alam Rue begging his team to get up, and they do the pressure here.
He is an animated coach. He works that sideline as hard as anybody.
A kick ball. And this will make it a bit tougher. No, I shouldn't say that, actually. This inbound before, he couldn't move the baseline either.
Kind of stay right there.
Cundiff looking for an outlet. Kinsella going a little too fast. Lost his dribble, he's in trouble. Huge possession for Munster, down 2.
Each team with 3 timeouts left.
Cundiff. Wallace stayed in front. Malloy had it stripped.
Great hands by Wallace.
Spins away from Cundiff, leads the Cardinals back. Remember, it was his 3 that started to change in momentum in this ballgame. Cardinals looking for a big bucket, and Trilly, his 3rd foul, 4th on the team, has bumped heads with Jameel Rich.
You know, Wallace had a couple possessions right before that big 3 where you had mentioned it. He was forcing shots a little bit, getting into the lane, drawing a lot of traffic, wasn't taking good shots, and then he makes that big 3. And then all of a sudden, slowly the momentum starts to shift, and now we sit, minute 17 to play, East Chicago with the 2-point lead.
Right into Murphy. Works on Coney. Wanted to go into Wallace, and Kinsella out of hand. Smart play by Wallace to let it go out of bounds.
Big block by Coney, and then East Chicago gets the rebound. Kinsella able to get his hand on and knock it out of bounds. 4 fouls on the Mustangs, so the next foul will send East Chicago to the free throw line. So we'll see what Coach Hackett decides to do here, how soon he starts to call for this foul. Probably going to depend on who touches the ball for the Cardinals.
Deontay Bell, you know he wanted to, but the time and score dictating otherwise. 1 minute to go. Wallace hits him in an ISO, working on the sophomore. Spins. Followed by Dominique Murphy.
Wallace gets through 3 guys. No one checks out. Murphy gets the rebound.
No timeout from Mike Hackett. Malloy, can he stem the tide? Bang!
What a time to finally make one for Malloy. He's been ice cold. Huge 3 here. 37.5 to play. Timeout Munster.
When you need immediate care, trust Community Healthcare System. With locations across Northwest Indiana, the immediate care centers of Community Healthcare System are ready to serve you. From sore throats and runny noses to cuts, sprains, and more, our team of skilled healthcare professionals will treat you and your loved ones and get you back on the road to good health. For more information, visit comhs.org/immediate care.
Well, we've hyped it all week, this 4A Sectional 1, and fitting that this game is coming down to this. Dave Kuziak and near us, as he just said, there's no better way. East Chicago, Munster, Brado Center, had to be this way, and it is.
This is going to end just like this sectional started on Tuesday night. You had the double overtime game against Morton. That game had so many different swings down the stretch. And here we go, 37.5 seconds to play. Munster's going to try to get a turnover, and then they're going to look to foul, probably soon as East Chicago crosses half court, if the ball's in the right hands. Oh, they don't want to foul Wallace. Going to try to force him to give it up. That's the guy they probably want to get. And it's going to be a timeout as they tried to get the foul on Keontae Bell, only 9-17. Smart timeout, East Chicago.
Griffith Industrial offers a wide range of high-quality equipment and parts. We source the industry's top products at competitive prices so you can get what you need when you need it and get the job done right. Griffith Industrial offers round-the-clock availability, quality products, consistent and reliable customer service. Premier piping distributor serving Indiana and Chicago Metro, locally owned and operated since 1996. Call us 219-924-8177. Griffith Industrial. Pipe promise, pipe delivered.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Crowd says it all. 24 seconds to play. EC, can they handle the pressure? Can they make the foul shots?
Munster's going to have to foul fairly early, see if they can channel the ball where they want it. That's one option right there. Letting a lot of time run off the clock, and they forced a turnover! Wallace throwing the ball out of bounds, trying to hit the cutting Murphy.
Mike Hackett is going to take a timeout. Munster down one with the basketball when we come back.
Town Club on 45th and Highland, featuring steak and seafood with that supper club feel, serving lunch and dinner for over 75 years. Huge martinis and a full bar, hand-cut steaks, fresh fish on the grill. From lake to ocean perch, Canadian bluegill, jumbo shrimp, and much more, done to perfection. The Town Club, 2904 45th Avenue in Highland, Indiana. For more info and reservations, call 219-924-5227. In today's e-commerce-driven world, customer demands for diverse products and faster deliveries are pushing warehouses to achieve higher levels of efficiency. Whether you're involved in loading, unloading trailers, order picking, or pallet storage, achieving top-notch performance relies on ensuring that the workforce operates at its full potential. Voss Equipment's experts specialize in assisting warehouses to optimize productivity and streamline order fulfillment. They tailor their solutions to meet specific operational needs, leveraging technology-enabled lift truck solutions to enhance overall efficiency in the warehouse environment.
Boy, oh boy, down to the final wire here, and again, it had to be, didn't it? It had to be Munster catching a break, East Chicago making a mistake. How fast do you go with 18.2?
Well, typically you want the last shot. You want to give yourself a chance for an offensive rebound. So I attack about 9 or 10. So if you have a miss, you get an opportunity for an offensive rebound or possibly a quick foul if EC gets it.
Cundiff down the lane. Cody! Cundiff saved it. Wallace has got it, and a foul with 3.3. And East Chicago has a chance to make it a three-point game from the charity stripe, and Munster had 2 point-blank looks.
2 beautiful looks. Cundiff gets to the rim. He can't convert. Offensive rebound doesn't go. But slow down. Munster has a timeout, 3.3 seconds. Even if he makes them both, Munster will still have an opportunity to go the length of the court. So still a lot to be decided in this one.
Wallace really strong on that. And if you're Munster, you almost want him to make this. You're probably going to be taking the three anyways, unless you somehow get it all the way down here. But you're going to have this rebound. Munster will use their final timeout. We will step aside one last time. 1 point game, Wallace at the line when we come back.
Hello again, everybody. This is Matt Maloney of the Matt Maloney Real Estate Group, powered by Keller Williams of Northwest Indiana. The region is a beautiful place to live, and I've soared to new heights to market your listing to the best and widest possible audience. Call me today at 219-301-0477 or visit mattmaloneyrealtor.com and let's get started. It's not Maloney. I'm Matt Maloney.
Bullpen Luxury Bar and Grill in Cherryville, where you can relax and have a good time. Enjoy our weekly specials. Wednesday, get a large 2-topping pizza, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery for $18.99. Thursday, $8 small 1-topping pizza. Sunday, $3 off any appetizer. Monday through Friday, $7.99 daily lunch specials, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Music bingo Thursdays at 8:30. DJ every Friday and Saturday night starting at 10 p.m. The Bullpen, 1013 West U.S. Highway 30, 219-322-7788, or hit the website at gotobullpen.com.
Amari Wallace, one more at the free throw line. And he missed that one, first one, very strong before the timeouts. And if you're Munster, you're almost worried about that. You've got Winters is in there. Again, if you're Mike Hackett, you almost hope he makes this. And then you can run it a little bit more set.
So I'm a little surprised he called a timeout there, because if he misses this one, you would have had that timeout to set things up. But Hackett wants to set things up in this situation.
Made it. East Chicago does have fouls to give.
Good
what
call.
do they do here? All the way down. Cundiff. Malloy, it was deflected. And Mike Winter made that call all the way from the backcourt. Think correctly.
Yeah, that ball went off the face of Malloy. Great call there by the officials. Nicely executed there, getting the ball into the hands of Trilly, making the pass out to Malloy in the corner where he just made one. But that ball gets deflected. Great defense there by EC. And that took Malloy's eyes off it just enough for that ball to go off his face. So now East Chicago basketball up 2. Munster's obviously going to have to foul right away. And then you're going to be in the situation. I mean, obviously, if you make 2, the game's over. If you miss the first, you miss the second, it's going to be desperation only for Munster. Look at the fans standing all the way around the railing. Everyone trying to get as close to the action as possible in this one.
Tough inbound coming for East Chicago from the corner. Only timeout in the game is possessed by the Cardinals.
Very difficult spot. Good point, Sam, to inbound the ball from. Munster, obviously, their number one goal here is to force a 5-second call. There is nobody back protecting the rim, so you're going to release somebody deep.
Into Murphy's fouled right away. And a full second ticked off the clock. That's seemed like a lot.
They're not even going to take a look at it. Coach Hackett's not questioning it.
Murphy at the line to seal it.
He makes them both. It's over. He misses the first. We'll have a conversation about what to do in that second one. Eliminates that. Obviously, you make it, game's over. On a miss, Munster's going to have a rebound and a full court heave. It's all they're going to get. East Chicago keeping guys up there, which is a little interesting here. You don't want to commit a foul in this situation.
Ball game. For the first time since 2017, the East Chicago Central Cardinals are sectional champions.
Fans storm the court here at the Barado Center. Munster goes down in heartbreak in the sectional championship game in back-to-back years. But credit this East Chicago team. They fell behind in the third quarter, got down by, I believe, 6 points, and battled their way back against a Munster team that typically, when they get up, they know how to finish a ball game. And give all the credit in the world to East Chicago. They just grinded out one heck of a ball game here, and will advance on to next week to compete in the regional championship.
Step aside, come back, and put a wrap on this one. The Cardinals are headed to the regional.
Place to go before and after a game? It's Langel's Pizza. Langel's has 2 locations in Highland and Crown Point, so you're always close to Langel's delicious wings, sandwiches, and pizza. Now open Sundays through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. till midnight. Call to place an order at 219-923-4900. Order online through DoorDash and Grubhub. Check out all our new menu items. Visit langelspizza.com. Catch all the action at Langel's.
Joyce Krakowski is a certified realtor with Century 21 Real Estate. As a lifelong resident of Northwest Indiana, Joyce knows what it takes to find the best deal for her clients. Serving Northwest Indiana, Joyce has a proven track record of going the extra mile for you. Contact her today by going to century21.com or call 219-712-1007 for more information. Joyce Krakowski with Century 21 Real Estate.
56-22, you see the score on your screen, and you see the celebration and preparation. It's cut down the nets on their home floor, the Cardinals. They earned this one big time, Tim, as you said before the break. Down 5, playing a team and a coach that is so good with the lead. We talked about everything. You couldn't say it enough, and it's really, really true. This team, a young coach, fiery, athletic, uber talented. A lot of people would have said the best team just by pure talent standpoint in this sectional, but they had to overcome a tough draw against Maryville, a very talented West Side team who took them to the brink in the regular season, only beating them by 4. Beat them both, and then they beat the veteran guys. They beat the guys that had done it, the guys that had a sectional championship, and they do it all on their home floor, which makes it even a little bit more special.
You know, what a meat grinder of a sectional this is most years. And, you know, this year, no different. No matter who you drew, it was going to be a tough one. You talked about it in the open. Munster draws Morton. They think that's probably the best possible draw you can get. And they had to go double overtime to survive round number 1. And then East Chicago just grinding this one out. You know, it looked like Maryville had them there early on in that one Wednesday night. West Side, always a tough battle. And you know, Munster up 5, and we talked about it during the broadcast. Munster was firing some quick threes early on in that possession, you know, and you just wonder, you know, Coach Hackett wants that back. Some quick threes where they could take some more time off the clock, get things going to the basket. They shot the ball exceptionally well in the first half. They went ice cold there for a stretch in the third and early on in the fourth quarter. And, you know, just so many opportunities that East Chicago just patiently waited, got those misses. They weren't scoring themselves, but you called it. Wallace had a couple tough possessions, a couple forces, made the huge 3, and then all of a sudden the momentum changed. And, you know, just a great job by East Chicago, never giving up in this one.
Quick thought, how do you like the Cardinals going forward? This is a really talented team. I think Jameel Rich Jr. is important. They're going to get him some rest and some ice, I'm sure, on that ankle. Treatments all week leading up to next Saturday. But if they're at full strength, how do you like the Cardinals?
Well, I don't think there's going to be a team with more talent on the floor than this East Chicago team. You know, whether you got Crown Point or Chesterton coming out of that Valpo sectional, and, you know, there's always Penn or whoever may end up beating Penn. I think it might be Northridge tonight. I can't remember. And then whoever comes out of, the South Bend Elkhart area as well. But there's going to be tough teams. There always is. But East Chicago's got the talent. Top to bottom, there's going to be nobody with more athleticism, more length, more talent than them. So, I like their chances, at least getting out of next week and then going into semi-state and, taking your chances against some power from Indianapolis coming down. But this East Chicago team, they got the talent on the floor needed, just if the moment doesn't get too big for them the further they advance.
How about being a 23-year-old head coach?
Yeah, how about it?
In your first full season at the helm of one of the most historic programs in Northwest Indiana, if you count Washington and Roosevelt, if you count what this city's accomplished, one of the most historic programs in the entire state. And some people would say, hey, that guy's not ready. We need a veteran guy. We need a leader who has done it before. Somewhere else, let's get that guy here. EC said, no way. This guy's on staff. We're going to elevate him to be the head coach. Graylin Gordon becomes the athletic director. I'm sure there's been some tutelage, of course, along the way. Alam Rue coming from that Griffith staff, all the success they had with Gary Hayes and Graylin Gordon there. Bring a lot of those guys here to EC when Graylin Gordon left Griffith to come here. And now they are sectional champs. They had not done it in 7 years. I should say, too, before we get out of here, big thanks to Graylin Gordon, his entire staff this entire week. They were outstanding. The hospitality room, everything aside, they ran this tournament with top-level class at the peak of it. And they executed everything well. They were organized, no issues, no problems at all. Nothing you would expect in a basketball game, but you always have to prepare for it just in case. And they made sure that that was not going to happen. Fully staffed, and did an outstanding job. And hey, it makes it a little bit more fun when you get to host the sectional at a historic gym and then cut down the nets. Makes all that hard work all the more worth it. Great job by our crew as well. All 6 games here from East Chicago. If you're still listening to us and you're on our 24-hour channel, we're about to transition over to Brian Jennings and Kirk DeMino-Smith, Hanover Central, Bishop Knoll, in just a couple moments. Thanks to Rob Aguirre, Sonny Santana, Rich Garcia, everybody else who was here this week. And, of course, my partner all week. It was Matt Maloney, John Pagani, Dan Ripe, and, of course, Tim Fedler here tonight. For all of them, I'm Sam Michael, EC, Sectional 1 champions. They are headed to regionals next week.